Hello students, good morning. Welcome to the first lecture of English. Now we are going to start with our small poem, that is Dust of Snow, and it is written by Robert Frost. Now let us read first the poem. The way a crow shook down on me, the dust of a snow from a hemlock tree has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had ruined. Now, this is a very small poem, but Robert Frost talks about an incident, a very simple incident which helped in lifting his mood. From a negative thing, he is now feeling very happy and relaxed. Now, see, first para. The way a crow shook down on me the dust of a snow from a hemlock tree. Now, here a hemlock tree. Now, hemlock tree is a small poisonous plant that has small white flowers. Now, the poet, the writer, is under this tree, hemlock tree, and what happens? Now, this tree, hemlock, is not only a tree; it signifies a negative mood. That is, he might be in a very upset mood or a negative thing or something like that. And now what happens, while he is sitting under the tree, a crow comes, and this crow sits on a tree, and when he sits on the tree, something suddenly moves and causes some soft fine snow to fall on the poet. That is the line, the dust of a snow. Okay, shook down on me the dust of a snow. Now, when the snow falls, it creates a positive mood in the mind of the writer. Suddenly, it makes the poet feel joyed. He realized that now he is realizing that something and small event also makes somebody happy. Now what are the changes? Let us see. Has given my heart a change of a mood and saved some part of a day I ruined. That means we know that the poet might be having very bad day, and he might be sitting under this tree, and a sudden action of the crow has boosted out his positive thing. We can say the poet says that the way in which the sudden movement of the crow sitting on the hammock shook down the fine snow on him, which has given his heart a positive boost. Now his mood, which was somewhat has changed. Now he has become jolly, which was sad. He is happy that at least the remaining part of his day will pass happily, and not like the previous part of the day which he had held in a regret. That's why he is telling that of a day I had ruined and saved some part. That he was very sad, he was very depressed, and a small action of a crow helped his make his mood happy and relaxed. Now childrens, I am going to discuss question answers also of this poem. You are going to listen it properly, and you are going to write it with your own words. I have explained about the poem. I will send you the PDF also. After reading the PDF, try to write the question answers by your own. And one thing, if you remember, which you used to do always in 9th standard, the same thing you are going to continue, that is figure of speech. You are going to find figure of speech of this two paragraph, and that also I will discuss, but first you have to do by your own. What is the first question? Let us see. What is the dust of snow? What is the poet has changed his mind? How has the poet mood changed? Now if you remember the poem, now this dust of a snow, what exactly the snow is? It is a very fine powder snow. The sudden dust of a snow falls on him due to the movement of a crow perched on a hemlock tree under which the poet is sitting, which has changed his mood. So we can say that the poet's mood has changed from regret and sadness to one of a hope and positivity. Now let us discuss the second question one by one. How does Frost present nature in his poem? The following question. Now first question, what is the first question? What are the birds that are usually named in the poem? Do you think crow is often mentioned in the poem? What images comes to your mind when you think of a crow? Now the first, what exactly the poet wants to say? The poet usually talks about the beautiful birds like peacock, swans, and birds, parrots, or something like nightingale, cuckoos, etc. But crow that are considered to be a symbol of death or a bad omen. Or we can say that here the writer is using the bird crow to show the black side, right? In spite of this, the poet has used the crow in this poem and tell us how his movement causes snow dust to fall on him and change his mood from depression to one to happiness. So he has changed our misconcept that usually crows are considered as the symbol of death. Now let us move further to the second question, that is, again, what is a hemlock tree? Why does the poet write about more beautiful trees such as maple or an oak or a pine? Again, some sort of same question. Now, once again, Robert Frost uses the hemlock tree. Now, what is it symbolize? It symbolizes death. Why it symbolizes death? Because it is a poisonous tree. Now, Socrates also has used hemlock to commit suicide. This is like a poison. So usually it is used in poison. So it is not considered a good or a beautiful tree like the pine or maple or the oak. Now sitting under the tree also signifies his sober mood. But when the pure white soft snow falls on him from the branches of the hemlock, he realizes that the nature can be very beautiful at all times and in all places. The movement of the crow causes the snow to fall, which in turn changes the mood of the poet. Now, third question, what do the crow and hemlock present? Joy or sorrowful? What does the dust of a snow and the crow shake of a hemlock tree stand for? Now it is very easy, as we discussed before also. The crow and the hemlock tree represent death, destruction, and a bad omen. In other words, they both represent sorrow. The dust of a snow that the crow shakes off stands for sometimes the pure is soft and white. It is also the moist, cool. All those qualities make it the symbol of positivity, calmness, and happiness. Now the last question, have there been times when you felt depressed or hopeless? Have you experienced a similar moment and a change your mood that day? Okay, now this is a question from me. You are going to write yourself that have you experienced such kind of a day and how your mood has been changed and this sort of thing, and write in a lengthy manner. Okay, and we will discuss this afterwards. Thank you. Hello students, this is the next poem. This poem is also written by Robert Frost, Fire and Ice. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if had to pursue twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction ice is also a great and would suffice. Now, we can find that writer's ironical way of writing this poem. Now, why this is irony? Now, by signifying the word that is fire and ice, Robert Frost's most acclaimed poem has suggested a brilliant example of the poet's style. Now, the poet is using this word right? And symbolizing it that the world will end and there are only two options about how it will end. It will either be destroyed by fire or it will be destroyed by ice. There isn't the third alternative. When Frost might have wrote the poem, the time when he was writing the poem, there were a lot of scientific theories about the sun exploding, and there will be a lot of heat, there will be so otherwise the world will go cold, the atmospheric thing and everything. So I hope thus the Frost have based the poem of these two facts. But now see what he says. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in the ice. From what I have tasted of desire. Now, fire, right? The word fire is suggesting the hot emotion of the passion and the desire. Now, here, ice, right? Some say in ice. Now, see in the next para you will get. But if it had to pursue twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction ice it is also great. Now here he is using ice word as the negative and cold emotions of hatred. He says that both are equally capable of destroying the earth. Now what he means is that desire of power and appeal leads human being to destroy others thoughtlessly, thus spending up the end of the world. His own personal experience is with desire, which makes him a favor people who think that this strong emotion will destroy the earth. However, let us see the second stanza. In the second stanza, what he says? He says that Frost says that he also knows enough of hatred and how destruction the cold emotion of hate will do. He goes on to say that ice is just as destruction. Now here, in short, we can say Frost says that the man himself is the own worst enemy. Humans will achieve destruction themselves. They will be responsible for the destruction of the earth due to the desire for power, due to the desire for achieving all the things, due to the hatred for someone who is more successful than them they are. So we can say that both desire, that is fire, and hatred, that is ice, they both are equally powerful to destroy the whole mankind. Now let us begin with the question answer, discussing the question answers. The first question is, there are many ideas about how the world will end. Do you think the world will end someday? Have you ever thought what would happen if the sun got so hot that it burst or grew colder and colder? Now see, everyone nowadays we believe that the world will end someday, and I hope you will also believe that the world will end someday. See, the main reason is global warming also. Okay, man has mercilessly and thoughtful. He is not thinking of the destruction,